In this video, we're going to be looking at this 24 volt, 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery by Epoch Battery. This is a quite stunning looking battery with a gray and a black color scheme, as well as everything is kind of 3D relief. So all the printing on the case and some of the detail work around here is all 3D relief molded into the battery case, which is quite nice. And having a closer look at the battery, you can see the outside here, we have Epoch Battery, lithium ion. If we turn the battery to the side, you can see the features: zero maintenance, Bluetooth, heating, ultra safe, Wi-Fi optional. And we have a rated capacity, so it's 25.6 volt for lithium iron phosphate, 100 amp hour, which is 2.56 kilowatt hours. We have a continuous discharge of 120 amps, a life cycle of 3,500 plus. Now this is going to depend on how much you use your battery or how much you discharge or charge at any given time. We have the dimensions of the battery, and we have the weight of the battery at 48.5 pounds. Looking at the base of the battery, we have these nice spots here to bolt your battery down. We have a plastic bracket with a metal bushing on the inside if you need to crank down and get this set perfectly. On the top of the battery, we have some very nice meaty lugs. They are waterproof, so it's a different style than you're typical used to seeing. As well as we have our negative. Up here is going to be our Bluetooth button. Press and hold. And now the Bluetooth is on. And if we press and hold, it is going to turn it off. This will turn itself off after some time, so you don't need to worry about leaving it on. We also have a vent over here in case, in the highly unlikely event something happens with the cells and they need to vent. This is where it's going to vent through. Two communication ports. This one is designated CAN port and this one is designated charge port. Now with the battery, I had received this cable here. It looks like it has a display in it, so let's plug that in and see what that looks like. Looks like it's going to be for mounting onto your dash of your boat. Maybe I have to turn the battery on. Oh, there we go. And as you can see here, this is going to be your charge indicator. So right now I've discharged the battery for the test, and it's going to show a low voltage on here. So we'll charge that up and I'll show you again what that's going to look like when the battery's fully charged. So next, let's get to the discharge test and we will see if this pulls full capacity. And for the discharge test, I have the battery here, which is running through a smart shunt. I have a screen here for monitoring, as well as I have the Bluetooth app set up. That is running over to a 2000 watt inverter, and let's begin the test. And the results of the battery test, we have 108.84 amp hours out of a 100 amp hour 24 volt battery. This test is a pass. So I'm going to open this battery up. It looks fairly simple. There's fill-up screws going in and around the perimeter. So I'm going to take those off, pull the lid off, and see what it looks like. Okay, now all the screws are removed. Wow, they have really packed in a lot here. Okay, so here we have the BMS. There is just a lot to go over here. Holy. Okay, so it looks like we have our cables coming from the battery negative into the BMS, and then out of the BMS into the negative post. And then over here we have our positive post that goes down to the battery positive over here. We have a ton of wiring. So it looks like these are the temperature sensors here, and then here is the balance lead. Okay, I was wrong. These are the balance leads over here. Yeah, so they're all individually B3, B6. So I'm going to deactivate this battery. Okay, so here's the balance lead cables. So that's deactivated. And here's another connection for the balance leads. Okay, that opens that up a little bit. Over here, this is going to be for our heat pads. So I'm going to disconnect those. And this is going to be some more balance lead cables and temperature sensor cables, it looks like. Wow, the level of engineering that went into making this is incredible. Now I can bring this case over. Over on this side too, we also have a connection here for the heat pads, I'm going to assume, so I can disconnect that as well. There is a lot going on. How much is this battery even going for? Oh, they have a 48 volt battery too. Let's look at their 24 volt. $1,000, just over $1,000 on sale right now. And then a charger, 24 volt waterproof charger for $100. Incredible. I gotta look at this 48 volt 100 amp hour heated. That'd be amazing for a golf cart. Wow. Huh. I'm gonna have to look at this more closer later. I do not think that I want to dig too deep into this, because there is a lot. So looking at this, let's see if I can get a light in here. It looks like these two bolts here go all the way down into the bottom of the case, and same with, there's a bolt here, and there's a bolt and two more bolts down here and one more bolt. I'm going to take these lugs out, and then I'm going to try and pull these batteries out. Okay, let's see. No, it does feel loose. Oh wow, okay. So this rod here goes down and holds at the bottom. Wow, that is cool. Ooh, this one's tight. I don't know if I want to remove that one. The one in the back corner here feels very, very tight, and it feels like it's going to break if I try to remove it. Wonder if I'll try it on this side here. Okay, that one came. Okay, this one's good. Yep, this one's good. One more. Okay, beautiful. So this one here, I'm not going to take this pack out. It feels like it's going to snap if I keep trying to torque on it. Oh, is it glued on the bottom? It is. It's glued on the bottom. Yeah, okay. So the battery pack here is glued on the bottom. So it appears like there's glue down in the bottom there, and I really don't want to break it. I don't want to break this battery. I'm going to open up this cover though. Okay, we have a lot. So we have 1, 2 temperature sensors on one battery. Okay, this is main negative for the balance cable, but we have a temperature sensor here, balance lead cable, and another temperature sensor here. And you can see on this side of the battery we have a heat pad, and the temperature sensors are opposite of the heat pad so that the heat can run through the cells, and then the temperature sensors will pick them up. And you can see that the cells are affixed with some metal banding, and even where the metal banding comes in front of this heat pad, there's heat shrink on the metal to protect it, and that is on these aluminum brackets, and we have banding that runs around to clamp them together. We have one 12 volt pack here, and this is going to be the second 12 volt pack, and running in series, that's going to give you your 24 combined. So wow, even just all cables are all kind of put together nicely with zip ties, and all of these cables here are all marked and labeled. So yeah, no complaints here about this battery. Everything is all zip tied, held down, labeled. Very good quality build. This battery is no doubt going to last for a long time. And looking at the BMS, this is all conformal coated, so it's going to protect it against any kind of water or anything. We have our BMS here, and we can see we have that's going to be a 8S 120 amp, probably discharge, and then 105 amp charge. But stick to the manual for the specs on discharging and charging. As well as we have our Bluetooth connection here. So this is going to connect for your phone. So now let's see if I can get this back together. Something to mention as well, in this pack they're using EVE cells. I can tell by the vent caps on here. I can't get to any of the actual barcodes, which is fine. Going to test the low temperature disconnect. So I've got my medical grade heat gel pack. Oh, and there you can see there we had low temperature disconnect. As well as you can see on the app here, charging interrupted. Temperature sensor number 2 is -3 degrees Celsius. So we have disconnected on our charging. Now if I pull this off, heat the probe back up, then charging starts again. We're going to do a over temperature protection test now. And there we go. As you can see, charging has stopped again. So I'm going to cool this probe down with the ice. And there we go. So now charging has commenced again. So over temperature and under temperature protection both work just fine. Okay, now you've seen how incredible this battery is. So you've seen the build quality is amazing. All the wire is wrapped with fire retardant tape. All the connections are beautifully crimped. Everything is glued, everything is taped, everything's bolted. This sink is going to take a beating. When you're going over, planed out, and you're going across the lake, the vibration isn't going to affect these batteries at all. So it has a waterproof rating. So now you're going to want to charge the battery. So for that, I recommend a 24 volt waterproof charger. So this you could actually just mount onto your boat and just run an extension cord over whenever you want to charge it, and then you're not always looking for that specialty charger, which is perfect. You can mount it down to the floor, and yeah, pretty much it's a charger. On the end here, we have a plug. Now this here is going to be to connect. We have a couple of leads, and then we have the other end of the plug. So when you plug this in here, and then it locks, so this isn't going to come off due to vibration, which is amazing. They've thought of everything. And this is going to be your two positive negative cables to charge your battery. So this charger here is a 30 amp charger, so this is going to charge this battery rather quickly as well. And then on this end here we just have our regular plug. This plug just reminds me of like a monitor plug for a computer. And that's going to go into that end, and then this is going to get plugged into your wall. So this is going to be your battery positive. It says bat positive. So I'm going to plug this in here. Oh, there we go. Okay, now we've got 30 amps going in. See if you can see that. So I want to check, I want to see if this display does anything while we're charging. Okay, we're still just flashing red because we got a, okay, so it looks like it's gonna give us a charging indicator. So you can see there, it's rising up. And then if we stop charging, let's see what this display does. Okay, it's back to empty again because we stopped charging. Plug the charger back in, and there you go. Now we're back to charging again. So I'm going to charge this battery up about halfway, because that is the state of charge if you are storing this at any given time for more than a month. You want to have your battery at about half charged. It's just going to protect the cells. They feel better if they're not fully charged. So if you're storing this over the winter, I would highly recommend just charging it up halfway and then leaving it for storage, and then charge it up to full in the summertime. And as you can see behind me, it's about 30 to 40% state of charge, and the indicator now is starting to go up. So as it gets more full and full, the indicator is going to keep going up and up and up. So really neat. You can mount this up on your dash or in by your foot pedal for your trolling motor, and then that way you'll always know how much power you have to chase after those fish. So all around, very good battery, very tough, very good build. Check out their website. Looks like they have 12 volt batteries, 24 volt batteries, and I'm very interested in their 48 volt battery for my golf cart. I have an electric golf cart, and I think one of these in there at 48 volts would be amazing. Thanks for watching. Bye.